All right. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, wherever you are. We are getting into DPL Season 2, Day 2, with our game versus BTG and Momentum this afternoon. Really going to look forward to it. I am Zombie Bacon, and I'm here with Spooky. And we're also going to
Hello.
be doing some key drops today, which will be very exciting. And I can't wait to see both of these teams duke it out. We have all the boys are on for BTG and Momentum, and they are going to get into it real soon.
Yeah, both teams here are very experienced players. So I think today's match is going to be a very hectic one, if I had to guess. Maybe it'll be as close as the games yesterday. We saw that, we had Mazer and Flogel. They had a tie game, and then, they went on to win later on. And then we saw SPG versus Hyper, which was completely tied up all the way through. So, I mean, maybe we'll see another tie up today, but what do you think's gonna happen, Zombie?
It will be very interesting having played both these teams. Relatively, Momentum is younger than BTG's, so I'm going to be excited to see if they bring out any of that sort of new game creativity that we do see sometimes from newer teams, and approaching it from different ways and not falling into some of the meta picks of strategies and things like that. Although BTG in qualifiers crushing it, I mean, just insane. I believe they were tied up with Mazer for the first and second seed slots in the qualifiers. So definitely going to be a David versus Goliath moment here with Momentum, but I think everyone wants to see some good fights happen. So
Yeah, I agree. They're both forces to be reckoned with. So I think it could go either way at this point. Both teams are probably going to do their absolute best today. But I personally I'm looking forward to seeing how BTG does during this game, because I know that BTG are extremely good players on that side, and I mean same thing with Momentum, obviously. But yeah, no, I'm specifically looking to see how BTG plays this out.
yeah, I think we are going to see some insane plays from BTG like we normally do. They have some absolutely nutty aimers on their team, so I'm expecting on attack from what I'm expecting from BTG is going to be just fast and probably trying to end the game as quickly as they can on those attack sets. And Momentum, from what I've experienced from scrimming with them and also watching them, we see a little bit more of a methodical play style when they are attacking, a little more probing, seeing where the defenders are and trying to take advantage of that rather than busting through storefront sometimes and aiming everyone down. We see a little bit more of a slow walk somewhere, surprise them with the breach, 30 seconds late at the 145 mark. Um, where that will be interesting, though, is BTG, from my experience, tends to be a little more quick to react on those defender sides. So, I mean, it's going to be a great game today.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you see that, certain teams they'll take longer to breach, and obviously that'll catch some of the defenders off guard sometimes. But sometimes the teams get caught up in the timer and they don't realize that they don't have much time left. So it's possible that I agree with you. Like, I've seen Momentum; they've done some very methodical plays and very slow plays, obviously. And BTG, once again, they like relying on aim, and they like moving in quickly with plans. So they know their skill, they know their abilities, and they're able to act quickly. And Momentum themselves, they make very methodical plays, and they'll move slowly. So hopefully they don't get cut up on a timer anytime soon. But I think they're very skilled in keeping track of the match as a whole, and keeping track of the timer so that doesn't become a problem.
Mm-hmm. Any standout players you're expecting today from either team to people to really keep an eye on?
Well, not any that come to mind directly, but I know that I don't know some of the players on BTG specifically, because I know a lot of the players on BTG specifically are they're very powerful players. Clover has been playing for a very long time. Billboard. They're all very skilled players on BTG, and Momentum, like you said before, they're relatively new, but they're all still very good at the game. They got very good at the game very quickly.
Mm-hmm. I know. For me, I will be keeping an eye on Macius today on momentum. I believe also their team captain. In scrims, he always does a strong showing, and even during qualifiers, I mean, there's something about that man that just makes his shots connect. And also on BTG for me, I know I believe they're going to be playing with Godspeed today, which will be very interesting to see. I have not seen him play on BTG yet, and I can't wait to see how he fits into that synergy as we start the game fairly soon here.
Yeah, I think I've heard of a little bit of Godspeed playing, but I don't know if I know too much. So I'm very interested to see how that wild card plays out.
Yeah, I know he played on Godspeed was a pickup from the old Banditos roster before they transferred over to Mazer. So definitely an interesting one and a great guy having played with him. Really fun, and all these boys, lots of fun to play with and just lots of fun to meme up with, but it'll be great to see them in a competitive setting.
Yeah, and we'll hopefully be seeing them very soon here with the match starting up in just a moment. But yeah, just if you're just getting in, we are starting a match between Momentum and BTG, both very strong teams overall. Yesterday we saw very close games, and maybe today we're going to see a little bit more hectic games. Maybe we will see some teams. You know, showing their might, their true power today. So, we'll see what happens. And here we go. We're starting off now.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, we're coming into this as I load in, but it's going to be interesting, man. These are two teams. I will say, having played yesterday, frustrating for those two ties, and I'm sure even more frustrating to watch, but I believe entertaining, even though it wasn't so fun for us. I can't really I don't want to put my finger where I think this one's going to go, but who knows?
Oh man, we're starting off on a factory map right off the bat.
Yep. All right, here I'm gonna really nice open factory actually here. Really interesting. Played on this map the other day. One really interesting play I've seen is going servers, and because you have such a protected power over here in this left corner, you can really take that red door and move around, and then from fan secure a nice double angle on this super open conveyor shelving layout. I mean, this is scary. This is just open flat land along with this office where you can jump out on this very long highway up on the north side. Believe we're going to get some nades through windows here, becoming more and more meta on factory sided maps, just throwing things through those windows, really messing those up as we get into the start of the round here.
Yeah, I see a lot of recently a lot of nades have been thrown through windows a lot. So hopefully that happens here because those are always awesome to see. Just players making use of the map as a whole to you know get some extra utility in. And it looks like they're probably going to be going for a server's breach here, a very powerful breach as well, because they can get that night vision going very quickly. And it looks like the players are now moving up. Voxel with the door charge, I believe. Yep, they got the door charge set up for servers. They do have one player set up on the defense side, ready to hold this servers. They're now moving in. The door's been blown. Defenders are, they're not moving from their spots at all. They're just staying their momentum once again, playing very slowly, moving on the outside of the door, making sure no defenders are throwing Molotovs in and all that. Godspeed just holding that angle, not moving, not being too aggressive. Flash is now being throwing in. Momentum now moving in. Molotovs being thrown. Nothing's really connecting just yet. A smoke on the outside, not going through the window exactly. But there are flares going to be going off. Sox gets a kill on Mighty JSS, and the Momentum team is starting to slow down a little bit more. They're losing a lot more health. Godspeed is very just holding this angle with Sox, not moving an inch from that position. and they're playing very slowly. Godspeed does take some shots there, might have to back up to the bomb, and Sock's going to take over that position for Godspeed while Doug moves up very slowly up against Doc. Oh, no, they're moving back now. Godspeed once again taking a defensive position. Very smart play so that he doesn't get picked off. Sox holding that position. Momentum moving very slowly. And now we have a player, I believe this is Macius, moving up to the fan to try to go for a flank here. But Clover getting a mop shot all the way from office onto the door, and Sox getting another kill on Voxel. Momentum now down to 2 players. Macius coming out the fan. Macius getting a kill on the right side on Shelving, and now it's up to Macius. Razor went down to Clover with the mop again. Macius by himself on Shelving. I'm not sure what you can do there in position of Macius. Godspeed holding that angle on the forklift with Ross right above Macius. Ross now spraying down to Macius, and Macius going down, and the first round's going to go to BTG after a very, very slow push on Momentum side.
Yeah, and I think that was just such a strong placement for BTG there, as we saw as Macius moved in from Selving, moving directly into the crossfire of 2 of the BTG players, just simply, even though they couldn't see him, once they did, he was gone, just because being in those sights of those 2 players. And a really, really strong hold there, placing the barbed wire in front of servers, reading that play and calling it, and also dedicating 3 players to watch it. We saw Mop in office, and that was a very expensive round for Momentum as well. NVGs are gone now, and they also brought Saber there, I did see. So I will not be surprised, and I am honestly kind of hoping that BTG might have grabbed those NVGs and might make use of them on Storefront. That will be interesting. And also having 4 members alive, they can take anything they want as we get into Kaiser Chariot, our Storefront map here today. Really fairly standard Storefront here. We have a nice storage green entry in the back. And one of my personal favorite features of any Storefront map are these high peak windows where you can you hop up on the car, peek in, get some nice long angles there into storage. We see an attacker mark coming out there. I believe they're going to want to make use of that as well. And defenders really seeming to concede a lot of that top map, placing a barb out there in arcade right next to everyone's favorite game, DDR. And also one in freezer, trying protecting that power, and I think more so to funnel them through there rather than to deny that to the attackers, just because, as we know, last round, no Saber and no MVGs. We'll be surprised if we see another charge play here. I believe Momentum is going to want to be keeping this fairly conservative and safe. I don't think we're going to see the wall charge tellers that BTG is marking out right now to defend for. May see it possibly, but I would be surprised. Kill House is not a map you want to be left without a charge on. And yep, we do see the attackers grabbing wall charge there. Going to be really vying for this win through that green door as we get into the start of the round.
Yeah, I agree on the kill house there. You don't want to end up with no charges there, but they're going in. They want to, maybe win this round here with the wall charge. So they're going to be using all the utility they can use. And now they're moving towards that green door with the wall charge. A lot of defenders set up in the southern side of the map. Clover is really the only one that could directly move up to go defend storage, other than Doug, who can go through shed. But it's hard to exactly say how the defenders can play against this, because they're kind of psyched up on the storefront and freezer side of the map. And now Momentum's moving into the shelving area, now setting the wall charge up on tellers. And I believe, yep, there we go, getting the smokes up on bathroom to hold that door. And now they should be blowing this anytime now. They're going very slowly here. They're just setting up. They're getting everyone in this room. There we go. Wall charge being blown. Ross moving out of tellers. And now the button can't be pressed right now because the power's off. But there's a Molotov being thrown inside of tellers. Momentum is stuck inside of tellers right now, getting picked off one by one. Sox gets... Oh, no, sorry. That wasn't Sox. That was Ross getting a kill through the door. I thought Sox was shooting through the teller hole. But Sox now going down to Mighty, and Voxel getting killed to Ross. Ross just spraying through that door, getting kill after kill on Momentum. Just keeping the pressure on that door is extremely important for Ross to do right now. And Doug keeping his position inside of bathroom, not moving a muscle. Now moving out to go help Ross inside of storefront. There are flares being deployed, so I think that some of the defenders do not have night vision, but I believe most of them probably do, since that last round they dropped the night vision. And now Clover getting into a little bit of a fight inside of Arcade with Macius. Doug coming into the wall charge to flank the Tellers, getting a kill inside of Tellers, and now Macius once again all by themselves inside of Arcade with Clover. And Clover is now peeking. Macius going down. Macius now at a quarter health left. Side of Arcade, not much going on right now. 20 seconds on the clock. Not much Macius can do to defuse. Might have to try to grab a clacker and just get out, because there's nothing more you can do at that point. They're just playing, peekaboo right there on the teller door, just slowly peeking each other, trying to grab the clacker, I believe, is what Macius doing now. Spraying now at Doug, getting cornered by all the players, and the bomb's going to go off. Not really, much that Macius could have done there. Not a lot of time left on the clock. A very expensive round. Once again, a wall charge and a clacker lost. And I believe that's going to put them at no clacker for the next round, right?
Actually, I think Macius survived there with the clacker. I don't believe he died.
Oh, maybe.
I believe that might have been a very clutch play from Macius there, saving that clacker. I hope that came out. Macius here really, really fighting from the ropes, having to attempt to clutch up 2 rounds now, but BTG not giving Momentum anything. We're seeing a lot of very smart plays from BTG on defender side, and certainly we're seeing a lot of what separates competitive play from casual. We saw immediately, if you noticed, when that teller breach went off, power went out, so they couldn't raise those storefront shutters. Although, interestingly enough, Momentum entirely funneled through there to try and make a power play there, but didn't work out. And also, as you notice from BTG's setup, very patient. Only 2 people engaging them tellers. Everyone else watching those angles, watching for those flanks, and then Doug coming around through that shed and just pumping a man from behind in tellers. I mean, just disgusting, really. Here we are, Crimson Daedalus. Great name for this kill house map. And I certainly hope that Macius was able to save that clacker here. I believe he did, because that will make the world for them here. Obviously, we're seeing 2 barbs come out, maybe just one. Nope, we're seeing 2 come out in office from defenders. I think a great choice there, really trying to cut off this kitchen side play. But what's always scary about Kill House as a player is that all of these walls on the interior are wall bangable. So if Momentum decides to take control of Club, they basically have every angle of kitchen covered. Even though it might be through walls, it's still covered. I'm expecting an auto shotty here. I can't tell yet, but I hope they did. They could just, again, you can shoot through walls one way. That doesn't mean you can't get shot back. Yep, I believe Macius saved the clacker, and they're going to go for a lockers play as they get into the start here, but auto shotty is waiting for them.
Yeah, grabbing that clacker is extremely useful for that team, because now they don't have to go through the gauntlet that is the hallway down there. Now they're just set up right on the red door. Sox with the auto shotty and the clacker right outside. As soon as that clacker, I believe once that door charge goes onto that door, Sox is going to spam that clacker and might catch Isuzu right off guard. But Momentum once again being very slow on their push. They're taking their time right outside the doors, kind of spraying through the walls a little bit. Mighty is what I believe is doing. Yep, Mighty spraying or getting sprayed at by Doug from Club. So they're being very patient right outside these doors. I believe they're making them think that they're going to have to go through green door, and then maybe they'll switch it up and go to lockers last minute to really catch them off guard. Mighty now making an aggressive push up onto checkpoint, peeking the doors very slowly. And now just Godspeed being very patient, not even moving a single muscle before seeing the people come in through the barbed wire. Now spraying a little bit, trying to catch some damage, but not anything yet. And now the attackers are moving up to the north side onto lockers. There we go, flashbang going into lockers. They have breached lockers. None of the defenders are on this side of the map now, and now Godspeed is moving up from Club, spraying through the walls, catching a lot of damage in doing so as well. And now Momentum is going to have to push back a little bit. There's 40 seconds on the clock of Molotov going off onto the bomb site. It's going to stop them, but there's a lot of spray coming through the walls right now. They're just spraying at each other. Godspeed spraying from below up into lockers. Momentum's locked in into a very tiny room with a lot of wall bangable spots. They are very unsafe there. Doug catching a kill onto Razor, who ran out into Club, and now Suzu going down by Socks with the auto shotty in Kitchen. Momentum's just stuck inside this room, just getting sprayed down by that auto shotty, but now they're breaching, slowly taking out players, but then they get taken out very slowly by Ross and Clover. A very, very rough set for Momentum right off the bat.
Yeah, very rough, and I think that's just BTG really flexing the experience muscles there. As we saw, Momentum trying to play those mind games, dipping down around checkpoint, even wasting some shots through the walls, but as we saw, BTG not wavering and actually firing back at them through multiple walls, as we saw Doug doing with the Saber there. We saw that late breach come out that I was talking about beforehand, very methodical style of play, but unfortunately, I think BTG's patience just played out for them there, really allowing them to not only hold their spots, as we saw Godspeed shots flying right over his head as a Momentum was wall banging, but man did not move, and then BTG just collapsed on Momentum and really denied them those rounds. This map, we're back to this amazing factory map. I will be surprised if we see the power play here just because of how well that BTG shut it down. You know, that's always an interesting thing sometimes. Sometimes getting that defender set can be advantageous on the first half because you're able to adapt your strategies based off of what works. So Momentum here really having a great opportunity to learn from what BTG did on the fly. I believe we're going to get a green door push here, actually, into an office, which, while office is very, very strong on this map, and we're going to see a barbed wire coming out there, I don't know if that will work for them. We're seeing a lot of split play. I believe we're going to want at least one person fan while they try and take control of that office, really not only pushing those defenders away from those tight corners where BTG was hiding beforehand in the previous round, where they were able to, instead of trying to come through servers, pushing them back out into those huge open areas where they have such little cover. I will be excited to see if Momentum plays with the trucks. I really will. I kind of hope they do. Even though trucks are always dangerous because you can just get shut in them like a caged animal. Just press a button and then you're done. You can't do anything. It's unfortunate, but
yeah.
I mean, we've seen some power weapons here. Ingmar and Mop coming out. Mop in the office is always a very strong play, and Saber coming out as well. Not unexpected.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Momentum is going for a similar defender setup as BTG had set up, and BTG's defender setup was extremely efficient, and didn't really have any cracks in their defense. So maybe Momentum can try to emulate that, or maybe make their own thing. But it looks like the attacks are now moving into the green door. Suzu kind of stuck inside of the storage with them. Doug taking that kill right there on Suzu, and now they're moving up very slowly into office, moving with a quick precision right there, stacking up on the door, getting ready to breach. I believe there is a barbed wire perhaps on the office door, so this might slow them down a little bit. But now Voxel going down to Godspeed, immediately getting shot from off that shelf. Now smoke's going off into shelving. They're now breaching into shelving. Now they're breaching into office as well. Very quick and precise movement from BTG here, just quickly breaching this entire factory. Clover getting a kill on Razor right there, and just once again moving with quick precision, just completely cornering all the members of Momentum. Doug just running past one of the Momentum members, just stuck right underneath the office. Now getting the kill onto Doug. There we go. Meisha's getting the kill onto Doug, and now getting taken out by Socks. I mean, what can you say? What a absolutely efficient push.
Yeah, so dominant there, and also I think important to keep in mind, I believe Doug only died there because Meishis was apparently a champion at playing hide and seek as a kid. I mean, just running past him, not even checking those corners, but then securing a kill later on. we saw a very effective play there, pushing those defenders as we saw back over to those conveyors where the cover is so slim. At that point, you know where they are, and unless you're going to get out aimed, you can't do much. Mop going over, being picked up by Sox, that is huge. That is going to be huge, particularly because this was in a save round for BTG here. No charges used. They did take Saber, but nothing particularly expensive for the attackers was wasted here. A smoke going out, but I mean, that is just brutal for momentum. We did fortunately see them taking a similar setup to BTG there. I wonder if either learning from there, from the attacker side that BTG played against them, but didn't work out for them. BTG just really flexing the experience and flexing their own just team power and team dynamicism. We see a lot of the coordination coming out with these more experienced teams. The smoke going out and then running straight out, shooting out fan before you even push office, really splitting up the sight lines there. And I can't wait. I think we're gonna get a double charge storefront. Good old fashioned,
Ooh.
you know, making the peak hole with the door charge and being able to get in through there with the wall charge. Not surprising. We do have to remember Saber and Mop, and I believe a fair amount of ammo on Mop if they are going to take it here. We have to remember Mop does so much damage; it's a one-hit kill on any defender anywhere. So we'll be hard pressed here to see how the momentum is able to react to this. Conceding the north side of the map, very smart from BTG there. Not wanting to mess with those shotgun corners and arcade and storage like they were playing around with when they defended. Really, really sort of the meta right now for these C-store maps, busting in through the front and taking advantage of funneling these defenders through places like Freezer, where we see a sniper line coming out to really hold that door, but also bathroom. No doors into teller, so if you have someone sitting there, as we see auto shotty coming out, roaming around, that's going to be dangerous for them. Can't wait to see how BTG executes this.
Yeah, they're starting off very strong so far in this game, and now they're not stopping anytime soon. They're setting up for their storefront entry, it seems, and yeah, they've got both of the snipers here, the Saber and the Mop, I believe, right? So it's gonna be difficult for Momentum to make any plan against this. I don't think they're using the Saber, but I believe they still have the Mop, and they've got the KR 82 on Godspeed. So that's a very nice long-range weapon to use if you can control that recoil. And there we go, the charge going off into storefront. They're just peeking very slowly, although Momentum not really rotating that much into storefront to defend. Razor's kind of busy in bathroom. Ooh. Godspeed getting taken out immediately from Voxel with a knack inside of Freezer, and now the rest of BTG are moving up to the storefront breach to kind of help, and now they're moving in for the breach. There we go. All the members moving into the storefront now. Mighty inside of the tellers with the auto shotty, getting a kill through the teller hole with the pistol. And now Sox is sitting outside of bathroom, trying to control the tellers and the bathroom area at the same time. But Momentum slowly getting kills. Clover getting a kill onto Razor all the way in office with the Mop. Momentum just getting another kill. Macius right there, getting a kill onto Ross. BTG slowly falling apart. Clover getting another kill. Sox getting a kill, evening it up to a 2v2. Momentum has got players in Arcade and Freezer. Suzu and Macius both together right now. Moving together is probably their best bet. Macius now has 2 Molotovs. Probably going to have to make use of this. The bomb's being defused. Macius coming out of Freezer right there. Residue going down to Sox with a shotgun. Macius having to run around, just trying to delay the defuse as much as possible. Getting killed right at the end there from Clover. Another round going to BTG, bring it to 0-5.
Yeah, Clover with the 3K there, and also Momentum losing that auto shotty is going to be Just a massive hit to them there. But I mean, BTG played that so well. We saw one of their members going up and shotgunning open those green doors over in shed, creating longer angles. I believe they were actually trying to open the bathroom red door, but I don't believe the shotgun could quite reach there to open it up. As we come into the kill house and final map of this set, BTG just dominating momentum here. Uh, Even when they were down, I believe it was 4-2, and able to bring it back cool, calm, and collected. True killers. I mean, just decimating momentum, not freaking out about the auto shotty and tellers, nor, I mean, that long angle from Clover there with the mop just doing work, securing Clover a 3K, and Sox one pumping two people. I mean, just insane. Mace just doing good work, but not able to secure the win for his team. Really, really, a lot of weight's falling on Macius here, being the clutch player, last one alive so often, but not able to connect with BTG. Unfortunately, BTG is just not giving them anything. So unrelenting.
Yeah, so far it's been extremely rough for Momentum to get any foothold in some of these rounds. I mean, just last round we saw that they had a few kills under their belt. They were up ahead in players, but as you said, BTG didn't let that get to them. Clover was able to bring it back with Sox very easily to just get some mob kills, get some more shotgun kills, and just keep on going.
And also, I mean, BTG just fragging out here. I mean, it's insane. We're seeing multiple kills per player per round. Not really any team aces. Each player here really showing off their skill. I think we're getting a split push here. 3-2 going lockers like Momentum did last round. Definitely going to bring the auto shotty. At least I hope. I don't know why they wouldn't on a kill house map, but I want to see. I want Momentum to bring this back. They still have time to deny the win here for BTG, at very least deny the tie. So I can't wait to see what happens as we get into the start of the round. Auto shotty is coming out. Going to be a destructive force.
Yeah, two defender weapons on the attacking side here, the KR and the auto shot. It is rough. Off is immediately getting breached right off the bat, maybe scattering some defenders. Not really moving from the position, though. They still have the 2-3 split between Club and Kitchen. I believe what they're going for is they're just going to hold that Kitchen with their lads as much as possible to just keep that under their belt. But SSU getting stuck in locks with all the teams, all the players on BTG right there, getting a kill with the Molotov. Throwing the Molotov, dying on the Molotov, and now Razor also going down in Office. A lot of shots being exchanged between Office and Kitchen right here. All three players left on Momentum are all stuck inside of Kitchen, but Voxel gets two kills right there. Macia's getting a kill, and now it's evened up a little bit, 2v3, but now Voxel goes down, Macias goes down, and JSS goes down immediately. Just a complete, clean, and precise pincer attack on Kitchen right there from Godspeed and Clover, just taking control of the round and bring it to an 0-6.
Really splitting up those angles there. Godspeed able to then gun down the final two players, completely securing the set for BTG. Just absolutely monstrous here. Also, as we saw there, mollies are so scary for both sides right now. I personally love taking them attacker because, as we saw when they were thrown out there, if that lands on you as a defender, you're done. I believe it's 120 damage per second right now on those mollies, and if those land on you, you're cooked. You're having a nice barbecue, which I think BTG will want to do after this clean set. I mean, just really, really flexing on them. Will be interesting to see if Momentum can bring it back. I think they can. New maps, new state of mind. As we start off on Factory here, Yellow Hole. One of my favorite new tiles, actually, from these Factory maps. I don't know how you feel about them, Spooky, but these green double doors down in docks. What are your thoughts on those?
I think it's very interesting considering, I mean, docks usually are very open, and this one is no different. It's right underneath the office right there. And, the green door entry right there, most green door entries have windows that kind of support them in going in. But I mean, this one, it's just you just gotta kind of go in blind, go into the docks. It's completely open, but I mean, there's a little bit of cover you can take, cover behind between shelving, the boxes, and dock has a little bit of cover right there. But yeah, it's definitely a difficult green door to take, but it's definitely very interesting as well.
Absolutely. I will say one of my favorite things about these double doors, you don't have to kick them actually as attackers. So you can be
Mm-hmm.
very sneaky. But it goes both ways because of these double doors. They actually have small windows in them. So if you get the right defender on it, you can actually deny it before they're even able to get there. You don't have to shoot through anything blind, which can be actually really, really attractive to these defenders. We do see Barb's going out on dock, trying to read that a a fan play is going to come out very smoke heavy, denying those lines of vision with BTG. But if this is a map to win, I think this is such a defender-sided factory setup right now. I do hope we get a little bit of sneaky beaky coming through that green door, but I don't think we will as BTG heads over to the fan.
Yeah, I forgot those green doors had windows on them, which I mean helps a little bit, but it's still definitely very rough. If you're peeking that, it's kind of hard to see sometimes. So regardless, smoking deployed on fan while they breach. Now moving off into shelving. All the players of BTG pouring out of fan right there. Just immediately moving into servers into the bomb room. Clover setting up on the door, setting up a flashbang. Now moving in. Doug getting a kill on Esuzu, who's the only person inside of servers. And now Momentum has to scramble to get over to the bomb site to defend it. Doug just immediately taking a foothold onto the bomb site. And Ross and Sox are holding their flank, making sure they don't get flanked from office or anywhere behind. The bomb's being defused, putting a lot of pressure and momentum right here to start getting kills onto people inside. Gut feeding 2 kills right there. Mighty getting a kill right there with a Malta burning in the room. Now getting flanked, but just Ross, shutting down that flank, and they're gonna win 0-7 on this first game. Just in a complete stomp right there from BTG. Just wow.
Yeah, I mean BTG there really, really flexing on them. I mean, I don't know what else to say. 0-7 first game. Momentum is going to have to focus to bring it back from this, just in terms of a mental game too. But I mean, BTG, as we saw there, just really, really taking it on the aggression. Also, something that I personally believe in the game right now, if you get defender side as your first side whenever you start these ranked matches, I feel like you have a better chance of winning just because attack is so strong in the game right now. As we saw BTG 4 rounds in a row, no problem. Not only because they played well, but also playing with what they had as attackers. Really, it's my personal feeling that even if you secure at least one defense win, I believe the game's kind of set for you there. It can go back and forth, but if you're playing it right, attackers is so strong. But momentum really showing out a little bit. Mace just really getting some amazing kills, but not landing anything else for the team, unfortunately, just from BTG crossfiring them into these 2-player gunfights, not allowing them to take them one-on-one, making them always fight 2 people at a time. But some standout moments there. What do you think, Spooky?
It's extremely tough for momentum to get a foothold in some of those rounds. But like BTG just didn't leave any room at all for momentum to gain any foothold in some of the rounds. I mean, the closest they got was that one C-store round where they brung it to 4-2, but Clover and Sox were able to just completely clutch it up and bring it back for their team. And I mean, we saw right there that BTG just moves in entirely efficiently, precisely, quickly, and they move in as a team, which is the most important part. You saw right there at the end that they moved into the bomb room. They sent in 2 people to clear out the bomb room, and then the rest of them were watching their back because they figured they were probably going to be flanked, and eventually they did. So having those players set up on their flank was extremely important. And then they had the 2 players, which are the most capable of, breaching rooms with flashbangs and aim. They sent those 2 players in to clear out the bomb room, and then immediately started defusing to put some pressure onto momentum. And with that pressure, they just had to push in, and they started dying left and right because of that. That I think that coordination from BTG is the deciding factor in them winning all of these rounds left and right, because they've been coordinated and patient through their attacking rounds, their defense rounds, and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's where experience comes into play a lot of the time. BTG, these players have been playing for a long time. Not to take anything away from momentum, but when you have, 400 plus games, things feel different. There's definitely an experience factor, particularly with the guys on BTG playing at a competitive level for so long. One thing I don't think a lot of people understand coming into this sometimes is that the casual state of the game is not how we play in competitive play. As we saw there, it is fast. It is almost like playing. It's almost like playing Call of Duty sometimes. You run in, and that's all you do. You run in, gun them down, and you win. It's simple as that, but also that aggression really plays off there, particularly in that last round for BTG. I do want to shout out Momentum Macius though, not only as a friend, but I mean really, really doing everything he can to secure these wins for his team. Unfortunately, nothing connecting just from BTG doing a stellar performance here, but that clacker save by Macius in that one C-Store round, the second round, I believe, was just insane. Surviving being gunned at by how many people. I don't know how he lived there.
Yeah, it's just Macius was doing their best to secure those rounds, but yeah, it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, but even though they didn't win, they had a much better chance using that clacker on the next round with a charge than they would have. But also, shout out to BTG being calm and collected enough to notice that Macius did survive, pardon me, that he did survive, and then also expecting that. Because if they had gunned him down, I believe they would have just set up around those green doors, really funneling momentum through those. But as we saw, their setup on that kill house, they cool, collected, playing the red doors because they knew that Macius survived. I mean, that's just talk about attention to detail. I mean, it doesn't get much more better than that sometimes.
Yeah, I think Momentum's best bet here is to learn from that last game. See that BTG's very aggressive plays can be they can be exploited in some ways. Using a lot of defender utility like Molotovs right off the breach can really catch some of them off guard because it'll put damage onto them very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
They won't have time to back out of the Molotov. They usually just rush through it, and that'll put a little bit of damage, enough to kind of catch them.
Yeah, I know. And also with Molotovs, with recent reworks, I know, at least personally, and also in scrims and everything as we get into the next round, but I mean, they are scary now. Before, as an attacker, you had 150 health. You didn't care about a Molotov. You run through it, you still have 100 health. Now, they are scary again. They really are the Dragon's Flames. I mean, just, you don't want to run through those. And now we're on Northern Crab for C-Store. I love this map. I love this green door entry here. This is a fun map to play. These long angles coming out through the storefront with this window and green door. I love, personally, when I play casual, I'm a little ratty. I love hiding back here in a storefront in that far right corner behind that pillar and taking something like the mop or a Legros and just popping at the defenders. I mean, it's just fun. It's such an interesting storefront here because we don't normally see that green entry. As well, you also, once you do that, if you kick this green door, you have a nice sort of angle there into arcade. These arcades are always scary. As much as I love arcades and I love seeing DDR and I love playing DDR, these are scary angles here, particularly because the wallbang spots on arcade machines are so interesting. Some of them on certain machines, like the machines we see here next to tellers sticking out, you can wallbang with certain guns through those screens, but not anything else. So if the defenders here, as they bring out the auto shotty there, hopefully they don't get caught off by that as BTG gets ready to execute on that green door.
Yeah, they're getting ready on the storefront door, looking through that window right there to try to catch any peeks. Voxel with the mop. Getting a kill with the mop onto Socks, a very early pick onto BTG. This could help Momentum very much so on their push right here. They're just now moving into storefront. Flash is going out. Voxel having to push back into Freezer, getting shot on their way out. But Godspeed trying to chase him into Freezer a little bit. Molotov's going off into Freezer to delay that push. And now they're trying to make their way into Freezer. Doug going in by themselves to hold Freezer for their team. You know, it's 4v5 right now. Some members of BTG are lit up right now from getting a little bit of damage. You know, from gunshots. And now Clover is set up in Tellers with a wall charge going into bomb room right off the bat. And now the rest of the Momentum members are going to have to push in to try to hold this. Razor going down, the auto shotty going off immediately. Voxel now going down. 3 players immediately taken out. 4 players immediately taken out. And Mighty's the last one with the auto shotty. Sorry, I thought someone else had the auto shotty. Mighty's the one with the auto shotty. Trying to defend this. Moving in, but it's just not going to happen. Mighty goes down, and Godspeed is the one to take that kill right there. And now they're going to finish off the round by looting some of these guns. Just a very slow start from BTG, but immediately effective right off the bat.
Yeah, absolutely explosive, but we did see BTG have a strong shift in the pace of the game there. Once Sox was gone, you saw them sort of freeze up and want to play around that. They did call out someone there, my favorite rat spot in storefront. And also, I do want to shout out Voxel. Voxel turned into Neo from the Matrix when he was getting pushed there. He ran through Freezer into bathroom, didn't take a single point of damage. I mean, just unfortunate. And then that wall charge coming out, I was sure that was going to clip one of the Momentum boys, but it didn't.
Yeah, that bomb just barely saved them from the explosion shrapnel.
Yeah, who would have thought a bomb would save you from an explosion, really? It's just weird. But, you know, BTG coming in hot after a 7-0 and looking to do it again here, obviously going very aggressive. You can kind of tell BTG has learned how Momentum plays after this game. They have, I believe they're starting to read them a lot better. You see those calls out like where the mop was, and it is going to be such a dangerous time for Momentum here. I'm just getting complete rolls here. Another one of my favorite maps, Caesar Lock. This kill house is so much fun. And we're going to get a door charge into club going super fast here. We're seeing flash calls come out, grenade calls come out. I think that BTG is going to want to do this without basically clearing 90% of the map. Normally, at least what we do on Hypo when we play this, we try and take parking garage just because obviously buttons there, you need that to get into the vault. But the club breach here is so strong because it puts you right next to vault. And if you can fight for those angles where we see BTG marking out those things behind, you know, like a player behind club there, the pre-grenade for any sort of barbs there to slow them down, for being very scared of those mollies, because if you get caught in a barb now and you're mollied, you're gone. It's a nice Argus barbecue, and the defenders will just eat you up. But again, lots of aggressive play coming out from BTG now. They are so confident after that 7-0. Interestingly enough, Momentum opening the vault, denying BTG's entire play. I wonder how they'll react to that.
Yeah, they need to close that door up, BTG, if they want to get past into club. If they're going to go for that club breach, they're going to need to, you know, wait a while, which is going to allow some of the defenders to start breaching into the club room and start contesting that area. And now they're setting up on this breach right here, getting flashbangs ready. Sox slow walking down to parking garage, probably going to be the one to press the button. Flash is now going into club. They're clearing it out, but the door's locked. They can't go anywhere. So Sox is going to have to pick up the pace here. Now running to the parking garage, realizing that the door is closed. And now Sox moving in to go close that door. Flashbang going in from Sox. Now pressing the button, closing that door up. And now Clover's going to be the first one to peek right here. Ross getting killed by Razor, but Razor getting traded off by Clover now. And now they've got control of the vault. Sox opening that door up for his team. And now Clover's immediately getting onto the bomb, putting pressure once again onto Momentum. Not enough players to go contest that just yet. Clover's, for some reason, getting off the defuse. I believe that's probably a Molotov. And now closing up the vault door. Now the defenders are going to have to run down to parking garage to open up the vault door to go help, you know, secure this vault. The door's completely locked. There's nothing the defenders can do. They just locked him out of the bomb room. You know, they're trying to get it open, but they can't do anything at this point. There we go. The bomb's getting defused. Sox holding that angle, now getting that kill. onto Macius, and just wow, and a completely efficient use of BTG's time right there. They cleared out club. They waited for a while. Sox did their job, and then they moved into the vault room. And then Sox once again pressed the button for their team. Excellent coordination from BTG right there.
For sure, and then Sox also, reading that and going back to close the vault on his teammates there. Normally a scary thing. Don't want to be locked in a vault, but here in due process is actually kind of comforting. You're safe. Nothing can get to you. But I do feel bad for Doug. I don't know if you saw, but Doug tried to run around and just at the last moment tried to squeeze by that vault door, try to get by there with
Yeah.
his teammates, but got the door actually slammed in his face. And I felt so bad for him in that moment. And then, you know, going on to be killed. But still, as we see, aggressive play style coming out from BTG. And it is just momentum. This is their time to literally shift momentum, pun intended. um, this map, Brutus Dragon, I have a bone to pick with this map. Actually, there's a current glitch. I don't know if you know this, Spooky, where if you wall charge by some of these factory walls and things, they actually disappear.
Oh.
So if we see this red door in office, if you, I this happened to me in a game actually. I believe it was and so I door charged this, and that wall disappeared. I couldn't go through it, but I could see through it, and so I'm staring at an attacker pardon me, I'm staring at a defender who's sitting there as an attacker, and I'm like, I don't know if I should shoot them because I'd feel bad for that, but they can see me too, and my teammate actually ended up getting killed, for that, but you know Office is such a hard play here because despite the wall disappearing, you still have to go through that very tiny door over there. So personally, I this has given me sort of office phobia. This map, I hate going office now because of that. And I believe BTG hates it too. The storage play being drawn out on the map. Again, securing those angles. This bomb is actually pointed towards Toxic, so essentially you can crouch and defuse the bomb and be relatively safe. Um, Momentum really dedicating to holding that office. It seems lots of Legros is coming out, and BTG looking to secure 3 rounds here.
Yeah, they're going for this push right here, and the defenders are setting up into office and conveyor for the most part. They're sticking near the bomb site, and they're just trying to play it kind of to passively here because they don't want to play too aggressively on this green door where BTG is pushing right there. And now Flash is going off, and now they're pushing into Toxic, and now just slowly but surely moving into Toxic. There we go. Mighty getting shot a couple times. Godspeed taking that kill, and now Ross and Godspeed moving into Toxic even further. It's Sox and Doug just slowly watching their flank. Clever just blew open a hole into Dox with a mop and now clearing out that angle. Doug does go down right there to Fox, so Clover gets a kill onto Macius with a mop, and just one after the other, momentum slowly gets picked off, and now it's up to Godspeed, Sox, and Clover to finish off Isazu right there. Godspeed getting that kill, and just finishing off that defuse. A very quick round and a very efficient one as well.
Extremely. And shout out Clover there with that mop kill on the Macius. Macius sewed just the tip of his forehead there in that eastern office window, and then just he was gone. He got so bopped by the mop, his kill marker moved. I mean, at BTG going with the due process traditional kill yourselves in a molly at the end of the round. I love it. We must uphold tradition here. But Momentum not able to find a defense round. However, 6 rounds straight of attack. Momentum. I think Momentum could really bring it back here. At least securing. I believe they'll secure at least 3 rounds. I hope so. Attacker side being as strong as it is, and hopefully them reading what BTG did and trying to play off of that a little bit. Um, Effectively, they have 6 rounds in a row here, and I hope to see that come out. But I'm not sure. What do you think's going to happen, Spooky?
I mean, I could only hope that momentum starts, helping their score here, because it's 3-0 and it's not looking good for them at all. I mean, last time we saw it was 7-0, and I think that for their best interest, they have to win at least something. They have to get some foothold so they can start getting a little bit of momentum, if you will, to start some of these rounds, and start getting some more wins. Because once you put a little bit of a wrench in BTG's plans, it could go in your favor very well. Because if you start like breaking up their plans a little bit, messing up their utility, then you can stop their plans a lot better if they have less flashes, if they have less guns to mess with. So I think Momentum's best option here is just start picking off more players, which they have been doing. They've been picking off players, but BTG has just been picking up the pace immediately. After a player dies, they just immediately start getting more kills to just even it up once again.
Absolutely. And Momentum here, one round means the world in this situation, not only because it's a round, but for the mental game that they are playing right now. And I am hoping, I am so hoping we get to see the Rat Peak that I love on this map. Auto Shotty being pulled out into tellers. As we see BTG really trying to deny any kind of storefront play here. Unfortunately, I won't get to see my favorite spot played too much. Doug maybe doing me a solid and playing around there and hiding, but man, unfortunate not to see a mop pick that happened. Oh, storefront's open.
Oh, they opened up storefront to start spraying a momentum right there. Godspeed getting 2 kills from Freezer with the KR immediately, right off the bat on that round. This is just not looking good for momentum at all. Just immediately, once again, as Istas are going down to Socks, it's not good for momentum at all. BTG is just bullying them at this point. Macius and Voxel doing their best to salvage the round, but what can you do at this point? The 3 of your teammates immediately get taken out. A frag grenade goes off, not enough to really catch anyone just yet. They're exchanging a lot of shots, but Macius and Voxel can't do much. A Molotov going down on the green door. What can you do at this point? I mean, there's just not much you can do.
Yeah,
I think they're going to have to salvage the weapons off their teammates to try to do anything here.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're deploying some smokes, getting a little bit of a foothold on the storefront now, and trying to move in even further. But Voxel taking quite a few shots from Tellers right now, and Socks pushing out a Freezer, getting that kill onto Voxel. Clover gets it at least. Macius now going down finally to a defender, and just ending up that round with a 4-0. Just another extremely tough round for momentum right there.
Man, BTG is going to be sitting in my office after this game. That was just rude. Definitely.
Yeah.
I will be having a talk with Doug after this. I mean, talk about bullying. Opening that storefront, having the balls to make that kind of play, catching momentum off guard like that. I mean, just the disrespect.
Yeah, that's just not something you expect if you're an attacker right there. If you're running past storefront, you most of the time don't really expect the shutters to just roll open so that they can start spraying at you. But man,
hey. Damn it, BTG, this isn't casual. You can't do that here. This is DPL. But man, that was dirty. After that, I'm just honestly expecting him to kick open the kitchen door and shoot them as momentum runs by now. I don't know what's going to happen anymore. My entire worldview of due process is gone.
They probably will kick it open. You never know.
You never know. But Caesar Lock, I mean, momentum here will be interesting to see what they do. If they normally, at least in my experience on Hypa, we like to play green on this one just because the charge is great. However, we feel that, gaining through hallway, and also with Kill House, you have to remember, you can shoot across the map. I mean, of course, there's damage drop-off and whatever, but you effectively, this is one of the few maps in the game that you just get to shoot through however you want with everything. Gat 9s, Grubers can actually do stuff here, which is so unusual. Lots of defensive barbs coming out from BTG. Probably going to be playing around the eastern side of the map, much more so around the bar area. And even trying to cut off that rotation through hallway. We do see 4 players over there and one in office running back. Man, I just don't know what to believe anymore after that last round. I am in shock and I am slightly disgusted. So
Yeah, I think it's probably a big punch to the gut for momentum right there to die like that because I mean it sucks to die immediately right off the bat of the round and just immediately losing 3 players is just nothing you can do about that. And now they're hoping to set up a little bit of a kitchen breach right here on momentum's side right here. They're setting up that door charge, getting ready to clack in. They have frag grenades, they have flashes, they have the utility to try to take this room. It's very possible they could take this if BTG makes some mistakes here. Momentum just needs to capitalize on any mistakes. The BTG has not been making any. Flashbangs going out, a Molotov catching Voxel, running back to that Molotov, probably not the best option, and going down to the Molotov, but Mighty does get a pick right there. Another Molotov going off even further out the door. 2 players dead right off the bat on Momentum's side, but they did get 1 pick off on Godspeed and half health on some other BTG players. So you never know. It could go into Momentum's hand during this round. It's very possible for them to try to take this if they move correctly here. They have opened the vault door, so they know that they're in parking garage, and they're gonna try to push in to grab these kills perhaps into kitchen, trying to get some picks off. Socks with the door open inside of bar, spraying into that door, catching some damage onto Mighty. Razor also trying to spam some shots. Doug in the hallway, perhaps getting ready to push and maybe put some damage through the hallway, but not catching anyone just yet. And now more damage being put onto Razor while they run past the door. A lot of shots being exchanged between all of these players. Ross holding down the fort right there with the door. Razor trying to spam. Macius now moving in to take out Ross. And now it's up to 2 defenders inside of the room, and there they go. They got it with the
Doug,
defuse.
you can't go that way.
Doug's moving in, but he can't go in there because the vault door is open the wrong way, and they get the first round of their game, bring it to 4-1. This is the comeback that they need.
Momentum. Doug left stunned that he went the wrong way. I mean, man, Momentum really bringing it back. Congratulations. They are back in this game, and I am so happy to see it. One of the, as we see with Doug there, that's one of the fun parts of due process, I think, is because the maps are all procedurally generated, you don't get to learn them. Of course, we do see them every once in a while, of course, through playing. We all play a bunch. But, I mean, in the heat of the moment, my man Doug went the wrong way. And I think
Yeah,
I think that's payback. That's karma. That's karma in action right there.
I agree. That's a little bit of karma for the storefront play they made the other round.
Yeah, and they deserved it, And also, Momentum doing a great job keeping a cool head, bringing it back, despite bullets flying past them. As we saw with Killhouse, spraying from the back of vault all the way down to that red door is a scary thing. Now, this map, oh my god, I want to see what they do. I don't know what they're gonna do here. BTG preparing for that office play with 2 defensive barbs, I think is great. I hope the wall doesn't disappear for them like it has for me. I hope it doesn't. But, also, as we see, I believe we're going to be playing around docks. That will be a lot of fun. But in my opinion, that becomes so dangerous because you will get rained on from these offices. Not only from the back here and that northern side office, but also this eastern side office where you have just this long window, which is entirely protected by these servers that you can run behind to reload and be bulletproof if they don't decide not to take office. BTG really flexing, I think, really flexing their defender economy here with 7 barbs being drawn out on the map. So really, really flexing on these mans with their extra barbs, but
Yeah. I mean, they used a lot of Molotovs that last round to hold off the the BTG push. So, you never know.
yeah,
Or sorry,
absolutely.
Yeah, momentum push. I know I said BTG. They held up the momentum push.
Yep, and Clover on that mop is a force to be reckoned with. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, they're setting up on this office door, getting ready to breach that red door. Isuzu on the door immediately, getting ready with possibly a door charge. There we go. The door charge going off right there. The clacker going off, and now they're getting ready to defend this office, but they're not really moving in through the office just yet. I believe this is probably a distractor. They have both power weapons on the office now because the clacker went off. So I think it's probably, using a Molotov right off the bat. They're wasting a lot of utility and a lot of weaponry on this office. And now Doc's getting blown open, even further splitting their attention. And now they're going through the green door using that distraction on Tox and office. I don't think they're being contested at all. I don't even know if they know that they're coming through green door. I don't know if they heard it. But now they definitely do. A lot of shots being exchanged right now. May's just getting a kill onto Ross right there. And now Doug inside of the truck trying to peek the outside docks. Not catching anyone just yet. Voxel is spraying through the truck right there, catching Godspeed with a couple of bullets. And now it's just up to momentum to start picking up the pace during this round. Smoke's going off. Sox does get a kill on Isuzu right there in office, but still both power weapons are up in office. Mighty getting another kill onto Godspeed. Now catching Clover up in office. Sox has an auto shotty up in office. Can't really catch anyone long range with that. Now the defuse is going off. Doug now going down, and now it's up to Sox with the auto shotty to try to salvage the round. Going down, and momentum gets another win for this set.
Man, BTG feeling the karma, man. I mean, and also, but let's not deny here, Macius and Mighty doing work. Mighty finding two great kills that really opened up that map with the Saber there, and Macius just doing work. So, and again, a lot of that was very creative play there from Momentum, like we were talking about earlier. Not only having someone in that office, but also blowing Doc, and also the way they split it up. Two people were green door. Saber was playing off Doc, and then another member, I don't know if I can't remember who it was, but was actually playing around the trucks because they heard them in there. So they were playing outside around the trucks, just spraying to try and find them, and then really just closing the hand around BTG, and momentum is keeping up the momentum here at the end of this set. I mean, just insane. New maps now. BTG can bring it back if they're a little nicer, but we'll see. Rapid Atlas, this C store. Very, very interesting setup. Very small teller. Always fun to breach directly into, as well as a storage. But, I mean, whoever made this arcade has taste. We have two Dance Dance Revolutions, two pinball machines. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. We have a driving game.
The best of the best.
Hey, I mean, yo, if you've never been to an arcade and watched someone absolutely crush it on DDR, have you really been to an arcade? You know.
Yeah, I've seen it. They some people are crazy on that. I don't know how.
Yeah, well, it's bad when you see them put both hands behind them because they can't stand on their legs. It's something else, but
that's when they're really going off.
Yeah, that's when you know, like, Super Saiyan's going to be activated. BTG here putting barbs around bomb, I believe, and momentum going for a very interesting shed play into tellers, really wanting to secure this storefront, because a storefront setup with this sort of H bottom is so hard to justify a wall charge on, because it's so hard, because if you charge in through the front, you still get people hiding behind you here, and if you charge in through the side, you still get denied so much. But I want to see what momentum does, and I want them to win this.
Yeah, I think they can do it. I mean, they've proven in those last few rounds that they're able to secure rounds for themselves and easily take some of these rounds into their favor. And BTG, I don't know, maybe they're a little bit, distraught here from losing a few of those rounds. I'm not sure exactly what Razor's doing all the way back there in the street. But, I mean, hey, it's, I guess, being completely quiet, taking the long stroll around the map as a quick victory lap for the last few rounds. And now they're setting up near Shed. I believe they're going to breach Arcade, speaking of which. We were just discussing this, and Doug is going to get caught in this crossfire right here. Now sitting on the Dance Dance Revolution machine, Molotov being thrown immediately, denying that arcade push. And now Razor trying to peek storage, getting immediately sprayed down by Godspeed, however. Just BTG just shutting down any of their entries, although that Molotov is going to miss by quite a bit, not really catching their entries. So they could move into Arcade. Now they're pouring out into Arcade. Doug not really able to do much with a knack right there and trying to spray, but not catching anyone. Isuzu trying to spray some bullets back. But, I mean, BTG is putting a lot of damage into Momentum right now, but although they do go down, Godspeed does get a kill right there on Razor. Now they're pushing out into Storefront. Doug getting caught by Isuzu. Not catching a kill for a while, but there we go. Mighty getting another kill, and now it's up to Sox to finish it up. Sox goes down to Momentum, gets another win, bringing it up even closer. They're bringing that score even closer, 4-3. Momentum is really, I think they're really gaining momentum now, if I really have to say.
Absolutely. But, I mean, and then also they're Mighty out-sniping Clover with the Black Tar. And, you know, Legros versus Black Tar. Black Tar is going to win. And also, I do love the classic Counter-Strike Ninja Defuse with the smoke there, just to flex on BTG a little bit. That was an expensive round for BTG. We saw Eco Weapons come out, but they lost both KRs. So
yeah, that's really bad for them.
It will be interesting to see how BTG plays around this now. I mean, KR is such a favorite weapon of so many people. I think not only because it's the KR and what it looks like is so, you know, shooter nostalgia inducing, but it's just satisfying to use. It sounds great and it gets you the kills. Unfortunately, Momentum denying those kills from BTG and really getting close to tying this game up right now. I mean, they are playing this so well.
Yeah, they're bringing it a lot closer than I thought they would be this time. 4-3. That's a really big difference from last time.
Yeah, for sure. Talk about karma. But the defender side here, marking out that insanely long angle there, all the way from back to office through parking garage. You can open that up. I wonder if we'll see them play that with the mop. I hope they do. Clover finding those kills that he always does. Again, we see, I mean, just insane amount of barbs coming out, being marked out from BTG here. You know, we're seeing 2 go down in Brick House, 1 in Kitchen, 2 in Backstage, maybe only 4, but still expensive. You know, generally, there are 9 barbs on defender side. You generally use 3 per side. 3 per map is the general idea. But, you know, really wanting to deny anything from Momentum here, not wanting them to gain any more footholds. I'm expecting them to play around these barbs, probably 2 Backstage, 2 Brick House. Oh, wow, surprising. One club getting that door open. Yep, and oh, great. We get to see that nasty long angle come out there with the mop. That will be scary, and I think Momentum will definitely get caught off guard there if they don't breach here.
Oh man, I see that long angle all the way from office to parking garage. That is an extremely long angle.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be clicking on pixels.
You have to wonder if it was intended when they designed the map for someone to set up a mop there. I assume that's the case because, I mean, you have to deliberately place all these doors right in front of each other when you're when you're curating these maps.
Hey, I mean, it happens and it's fun. You know, I
can't blame them. It puts a little bit of flavor inside of the maps and, you know, it rewards teams for noticing these angles as well. Momentum now coming out of their truck now, and they're setting up on the long angle. Funnily enough, I believe, have they opened up all the doors between all these angles, or?
I believe they did. We saw a defender spawning club solely to open it, and obviously it's open. Mighty goes down.
Oh yeah, Clover immediately getting that kill on the Mighty on that huge angle right there. They're kind of peeking this a little bit more aggressively than they should be, but Clover does not catch the kill right there on Voxel. And now Macius and Voxel are getting a little bit of a foothold, baiting out those mob shots. Godspeed does go down to Isuzu, and now they've got the momentum, start pushing in. Clover's stuck inside of the bomb room with Voxel, trying to get that kill, but not catching anyone. Doug taking out and switching places with Clover. Ross now trying to come in with Doug to try to defend. Macius stuck outside, but a lot of members of BTG are low on health. All momentum really needs to do is maybe throw a couple flashes in, try to catch him off guard, but Doug is just spamming that wall with the auto shotty with Ross right behind them. just trying to catch anyone. Ross does have a frag grenade, though, tossing a frag grenade out into office, not catching anyone, though. Using it a little bit too soon, but he's just trying to spam a couple shots. There we go, getting that charge off onto some of the momentum members, getting a kill right there. Doug does get a kill with the auto shot right there. Clover and Doug both very low in health, but so is Macius. Macius has extremely low health right here. Has 18 seconds, 7 seconds to start defusing. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and now Macius has no chance of defusing, but does go down to Doug. Doug getting 3 kills right there with the auto shotty.
Yeah, Doug doing work, and I mean, Voxel, I was rooting for Voxel there, trying to say, I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me, but not able to connect. That was so hectic. I mean, I don't even know if the BTG guys knew he was in there till he was dead. He was just running around. But, I mean, Momentum really, really trying and fighting for that. That was more of a round, that was more of a slugfest than we have seen with some of this match.
Yeah, I mean that came a lot closer than these rounds have been coming to. I think Momentum's really starting to pick up the pace, and they've really been doing a lot better during these rounds. Even if they lost that round, they did a lot of damage during that round.
For sure. I mean, that round, if Macius had a little more time, I think he could have won that. And I really only think he lost that because of time, because he had to push. You know, bomb takes 10 seconds to defuse, and he only had 3, and then you're running into a mop and an auto shotty when you can be pistoled, which is never fun.
Yeah, I mentioned that timer for Momentum at the beginning of this, so maybe this is a little bit of commentator's curse, but I mean, you got to watch that timer. It can bite you sometimes.
For sure, and that's where, you know, I think that's where the Clover play there on that long angle bought them all that time. You know, that was really not only from finding the kills, but Clover making them slow down there and play a little more methodically around that corner. Really a great call. But new map, and Momentum definitely hoping to bring it back, and BTG hoping to close the door on them, really wanting to secure this tie at very least, getting that 6th round in. And then we switch back. You know, this is the last round of BTG's defender side, which I'm sure they are thankful for. But I won't be surprised. I hope we see some nades through windows. That really tends to be on these factory maps, particularly on this layout. Toxic and the shelving corners are so dangerous, particularly because I believe Momentum's wanting to go for that green door play, possibly even a power play here. This map is hard to defend, in my opinion. It is hard just because if they get through that green door and take that office, you have so little places to play around besides sort of directly under that dock and in that shelving. Can't wait to see the creativity come out here, and hopefully Momentum really crushes BTG's dreams, but we don't know.
Yeah, now they're coming out of this truck right now, going towards storage. You know, they have to start putting a lot more aggressive plays in, I think, because last round they ran out of time. So I think what they should learn from that, they need to start moving a little bit quicker. I mean, you could always have your methodical plays, but yeah, you need to start moving a little bit quicker in some of these rounds. They are playing it very slowly here, though. Not anyone to contest them really in storage, so not really making good use of their time, but they're still moving in. They're moving in very slowly here, now flashing into storage. Ross is set up in Toxic, however, so Razor and Mighty might run into Ross. Nope, there we go. Charge going off into Office. Godspeed caught off guard, having to run out of Office, giving control of Office to Momentum, but it's up to Doug and Clover to hold off that Office push. But now Godspeed is directly underneath Office. Now Sox going in to try to defend shelving Office. Ross taking that kill onto Razor now and pushing back a little bit, giving them a little bit of space, but Sox now getting another kill onto Macius from that door. Mighty now going down to Clover, but Isuzu does get that kill onto Doug into shelving. They might have to back out here. Yeah, Isuzu's best hope, I think, is to back out with the Clacker, maybe, because, I mean, it's not looking good. Yep, there we go, going down immediately. Oh, sorry, there was no reason to back out because of the final round. I forgot. Yeah, the third set is now done. Just 6-3 now, bringing it even further into the hands of BTG.
And BTG, again, Viking funeral there after their win. I mean, playing around those super tight angles and out aiming momentum is what they were succeeding at, and they're bringing it back. But momentum still has a chance here to really secure the tie. And I hope they will. We're seeing them really adapt to how BTG plays, and we're also seeing them really throw punches back and land them. I mean, they've secured 3 rounds. They almost secured a fourth, but it's hard against a team like BTG that is so experienced to get inside their head like that to where they will lose. Um, Momentum wanting to tie it up, but I don't know what they can do here. BTG, part of me wants them to open that storefront again. Part of me really does. I think they might do it just because the disrespect for that. It worked for them once. It might work for them again. You know,
Yeah.
um, Momentum might try and flip the cards here on BTG on attacker side. But who knows? BTG I think is aware of that. Drawing out a storage play here with a possible wall charge. That, I mean, really trying to go out and end this game in style. Um, Momentum here. Hopefully, I believe they're going to have a guy peeking through that storage window, might be able to call that out and then run away into arcade, place some DDR on the way, and then get out in the storefront. Barb's coming out, only 2. We don't see the barb commitment that BTG has from Momentum. We're not seeing some crazy 6 barb play, but nonetheless, effective barbs. Really trying to defend this northern side while conceding and playing around more angle-wise from these arcade and storefront windows. Yep, we see barbs going out there, and I believe that's a Legros or a mop. I hope, really. And auto shotty and tellers again. Momentum seems to love that, and I don't blame them. It's a scary gun, and we do see Razor on that. I believe that's mop in storage trying to catch
Yeah.
BTG off.
And it might catch some of them because they do seem to be running by that window. If they're not careful enough, Razor might catch a kill very early on. Even just doing a little bit of damage is enough
Oh,
to maybe put a wrench inside of their plans. Missing the shot, unfortunately, however, Razor has to back out, and now they're moving into storage. Clover just immediately trying to push onto Razor, but going down to Voxel. Doug going down, or getting that kill onto Razor. Now the power is going to go out to put a little bit of scary. Wall charge getting Voxel right there. Mighty just watching their teammate die right in front of their eyes to the wall charge, and now BTG's got complete control of storefront right now. Momentum is just kind of stuck outside. There we go. Meisha's going down. Isuzu does get the kill right there from behind with the knack. Sox trying to get that kill right there, getting that kill. Mighty's the last one left. Inside of Tellers with the auto shotty. This isn't completely lost, however. Look at the health on BTG. They are all very low. Mighty has an auto shotty.
ooh.
There we go, getting that kill into Godspeed. Throwing that Molotov into Tellers, not catching anything though, because Mighty had a lot of space inside of Tellers to move around in. BTG is kind of pressured right now by Mighty. Mighty's just putting a lot of pressure onto BTG. They can't start defusing just yet because the second they start pushing that, they're going to start getting sprayed down by that auto shotty. They're trying to put some defuse pressure on, but Mighty's not having it. Putting a lot of pressure back, shooting a lot of bullets back, trying to spray them down, and now getting enough of it, trying to shoot them down with the pistol. I believe they're probably out of ammo on that auto shotty, not catching anything. There we go, getting that kill, and yeah, that's it. That's it right there, bringing it to a win for BTG.
Yeah, Doug making the right call there. I mean, Teller's great place to be sometimes, bulletproof. But then we see where it falls short is also, if Doug had been standing by Sox there, I think Mighty would have clutched it out. But because they split up that angle, made Mighty look in 2 places, and obviously Mighty wants to commit to the bomb diffuser before he commits to the other guy, just buy himself at least more time. But I mean, that's the experience. BTG, really fighting around him, and also good job on Mighty there, wasting BTG wasted 2 flashes on him trying to get him in that tellers and then just couldn't. So, I mean, well fought for Momentum, but BTG just unrelenting.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just a rough loss for Momentum there. They ended up with a 0-7 to start with, and then they started bringing it back in that second game. They started learning a little bit how BTG played, and they started winning some rounds. They started putting in a lot more kills. I mean, at the very least, even in this last game, even if they lost, they were bringing these rounds a lot closer than they were before. So they definitely adapted. They definitely learned. But BTG is just a force to be reckoned with, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, BTG, you know, got wounded there in the middle of this game. I mean, losing 3 rounds in a row to Momentum, and Momentum should be proud of that. BTG is by no means a slouch, but BTG bringing it back, and also not trying to bully Momentum as much, getting a little bit of that respect back. Not doing those rat plays, but
Yeah, that
BTG.
one that one storefront from BTG, that was a little bit too much, I think.
Yeah,
A bit of salt on the wound, which was
but I think that's what made Momentum win. I think it was the sheer disrespect. I think that's what gave Momentum the push to really, you know what, boys, screw these guys. We can do
yeah.
this. But I will be having a stern talking to with Doug. You know, he will be in my office, as you say. But I mean, still, it worked. Let's not ignore the fact that it absolutely decimated Momentum, and that's the thing about these experienced teams is they will do weird shit sometimes, and it works. Let's not deny the fact they got 3 kills off of opening those shutters. 3 kills. That's huge, particularly
Yeah,
in
you don't see
Dipro.
that often.
Yeah, I mean, it works in casuals, and apparently it works in DPL too. So I can't be too upset. It was exciting to watch, but I just remember it was like, oh, it's open. What?
Yeah.
It was shocking. But I mean, BTG outside of that, I mean, also just playing so well, identifying angles like on that kill store. Sorry, kill house.
Mixing two maps there.
Hey, no, I have so many moments from BTG in my head right now. Just really such a great team to watch.
Yeah,
But
they really showed off their might right there.
not only their might, but their creativity. I mean, identifying that long angle and then putting Clover on there with the mop was insane. And also Clover getting the kills there. I mean, even though it was hard fought by Momentum, I mean, let's not forget. I think it was Godspeed was standing behind Clover there, and then got picked off by one of the Momentum guys from across the map. You know, and I wonder how it would have played out if Clover was the one to go down instead, but he wasn't, unfortunately for Momentum. But we can't. While BTG did dominate, Momentum showing out very strong, and demonstrating why they are here in the upper league of DPL. I mean, despite not winning, they did play very well.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, that's the game right there. It looks like BTG is gonna walk away with both wins right there. No ties, but hey, it just goes to show how strong BTG is. So if you're a team playing against them anytime soon, you better be watching out.
Oh, for sure. And also our first double win set of our best of twos here in Upper League. Yesterday we had Mazer tied with Team Flogels and then won over Team Flogels, and then Hypa and SPG tied both of their games. So far this has been our first real beatdown of a matchup, which congrats to BTG. They certainly deserve it. And as we move forward, we'll see Slaughterhouse and Fierce, which is guaranteed to be a great game coming up after this.
Yeah, so if you're interested in seeing that next match in just a few minutes, I believe, right? Just 30 minutes until the next match. Stick around for that. And we also have some key drops coming in soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Be sure to stick around and chat. Don't go away. We have a great game coming up. You just saw a great game, and also, who doesn't want some free keys?
Exactly. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you stick around for the next game in 30 minutes. Grab some food, grab a drink, and yeah, we'll see you there.
Yeah, thank you, Spooky, and thank you guys for watching.
protects my heart.